Well, today we're going to be talking about what you should do. Let me just adjust this a little bit. Can you see my dog? Today we're going to be talking about what you should do if you find out someone you love is a PDF file. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, this is what I would tell myself if I could go back and, well, first things first, if they're going to gaslight you. So I would say talk to a trusted friend if you're being gaslit, if you're not sure, if what he told me was I heard him wrong. And then he told me a lot of stuff that just to me made more sense than him being a pedophile. So I believe that because I was used to getting gaslit, used to doubting my reality. And because I felt really guilty, he made me feel really guilty because I was about to kill him. So I would say talk to a trusted friend if you feel like you're being gaslit and just let it all out. And if you're that friend, therapy. Tell them to go to therapy because you can't help. Or actually, report the person to the cops yourself because you can do that. But unfortunately, because of red tape, things aren't always that simple. So let's get into that. So first things first, call a lawyer because what they're going to try to do is not plant it, but they're going to try to pin it on you. They're going to try to say that you did it, okay? And then you're going to get yourself in a legal battle. So call a lawyer, tell them exactly what's going on, get legal advice, and then you want to call the FBI to turn them in. You don't want to call the local police. I tried that. I didn't call them. I went to the police station, and I'll explain why I trust turning PDF files into the FBI instead. Now, it's completely okay to do this. Like, you're not wasting their time, especially if they're looking at child porn. You're totally fine to turn them in. Like, if they're looking it up online, it's totally fine to turn them into the FBI. Also, you can report anonymously if you want to. So if you don't want to be involved in the case at all, they have an anonymous report thing where you can report it anonymously. And I think they even have like a little thing up there where you can upload the evidence of what you found. So that brings me to the next thing. Now, the FBI may tell you need evidence. According to the police, I needed to gather evidence. They didn't try to get a warrant from the judge. They didn't say, okay, we're going to seize his computer and look at it, or we're going to seize his mom's computer and look at it. Nothing like that was done, which my therapist told me was insane. Like, they're supposed to do that. Not my talk therapist, but my OCD therapist. It was something. So you're going to want to gather evidence safely. Make sure they're not around when you gather this evidence, okay? I don't want you getting hurt. You're going to want to take screenshots this sounds disgusting, but you're going to want to download it on a flash drive, something like that. But as soon as you gather that evidence, it's time to go because then that evidence is on you. So what you're going to want to do is leave safely. So I left to go to a friend's house, and then I went back to believing what he had originally told me, which was that I heard him wrong, and I felt like I had lied about him, and I felt like, he was just on a site that had age play, but he wasn't there for the age play and all this other shit. And I felt like it was wrong for him to be on an age play site, but that was because it caters to age play or a site that even has age play. But unfortunately, I think even, the popular sites have teen shit. Not like real teens, but like teen shit. But whatever. We'll get into how disgusting that is in another video. I went back to believing him and went back, and then I was trying to talk to him about it to get clarity, and I had like an epiphany, and I was just like, he's lying, look at him. If this was a movie, you'd be screaming at the main character, he's lying to you. And I was like, fuck this jerk. So I called another friend, but the whole time I was leaving him, I made him think that we were going to work things out, we were going to do couples therapy. Like, I left like that. When he was gone at work, I took half my shit, and I just, my shit. Well, yeah, some of my shit. Not all of it. I couldn't take all of it. And I just fucking left and never came back. And I just talked to him like we were friends and shit. Like I wasn't totally mad at him and gonna turn him in. And, at first I insulted him a little bit and shit like that. And then his mother was all like, how could you do that to my baby? Oh. She knows he's a pedophile. She just doesn't give a fuck. And then I was just like, fuck, this bitch has done so much for me. I shouldn't be insulting his bitch. I shouldn't be making her feel bad and shit like that. Like, oh, fuck him. Fuck him, dude. Fuck him. But anyways, I know it's hard when you're in an abusive relationship because you're used to not caring about your own feelings and You know, what his mom was trying to do basically was make me feel bad, make me feel like I had been a problem to their family, so I didn't turn him in. I didn't realize that till years later down the road. But, yeah, leave safely. Call a friend. Well, you can't, look what happened to that Gabby girl. Call a friend and then leave safely and never look back. Seriously, if you're being gaslit or you even feel like you're being gaslit, I know you can't even tell sometimes. There's a little voice inside your head that says maybe something's not right here. Go to therapy, okay? I'm not saying wait to report, but go to therapy. Okay. If you're in the state that I am, I'm not going to say what state I am, you cannot film a person confessing in a bedroom, because if you do that, it is considered a private conversation. I think in my state, and I had to look this shit up because they told me I needed to go film him and get him to confess instead of sending a trained professional out to do that, or even offering to put a wire on me. And by the way, this man had threatened to kill me. They told me I needed to go and try to get him to confess. But anyways, I know way too much about this shit now. You can't be in a bedroom. Try to make sure they can't argue that it was a private conversation, because I think that's like red tape or something that can keep the cops from going. I don't know why the cops didn't just get a warrant from the judge. I really think a judge would have signed over that warrant and they could have done that, but yeah, I really don't know. So what happened with me is they told me to try to go get evidence, and I had some before, but it wasn't him directly confessing to being a pedophile. It was just like, he could have said something else, you know what I mean? He could have like made it seem like we weren't talking about that. And then I had other films of him being in a bedroom, and I was panicking. I was like, well, if I have this on my phone, people are gonna think, but it was in a bedroom, so I deleted it like an idiot. But at the same time, I still couldn't have used that shit. Yeah, don't film in a bedroom. You only need one person's consent to film someone in my state. So there's that. But at the same time, I guess if the police are asking you to be the one to do all this and put your life at risk, you should go to the FBI. Because the FBI told me, what they told me is, I was like, okay, look, if y'all train me, yeah, sure, I'll do it. Like, send me in there. I'm not going to freak out this time. I got this. I just need to be trained so I know not to be nervous. And a lady on the line was like, okay, ma'am, we don't want you to do that. Like, I was some kind of idiot. I'm like, yeah, I am kind of an idiot. She was like, we don't want you to do that if it's already been reported, and that's all she said. She was like, do you have any new information? I said, no. It's because I didn't. But, what I did, I can't tell y'all what I did do, but, let's just say plenty of, plenty of authorities are looking for him. So I did good. But yeah, actually, I'm not going to tell y'all don't film in a bedroom. Don't film at all. You're not trained. You're going to fuck it up and you're going to get shot. And you don't deserve to die. You're a victim too if you find out someone you love is one of these things. So just stay safe. If you need more advice, you can ask me in the comments what to do. That's all I can really tell you. Just stay safe and get a lawyer and prepare for a legal battle, because there still might be some shit. I don't know, but just hopefully, oh yeah, the burden of proof. I fucking forgot. Dude, this is really important. Some pedophiles get off because of the burden of proof, because you cannot, they like figure out a way to make it to where you can't prove it was their porn. So yeah, get a lawyer, talk to a lawyer, because you don't want that on you. You know what I mean? The burden of proof. Okay. I fucked up this video, mate, big time, but, it was pretty much uncandid. I mean, it was pretty much candid. I just wrote down the stuff I needed to remember to tell y'all. Yeah, have a good day. I'll be trying not to think about this.